Hey there. Welcome to the Gyro Step, a Milwaukee Bucks podcast, proudly a part of the Blue Wire Podcast Network and GSPN. I am Windisch, one of your hosts, joined as always by the sensational Rohan. Katti. Rohan, sir, how is it going?
Doing well, Ty. You know, it's another week. We're getting that much closer to basketball. All the news is coming out as we're going to be talking about. I can feel the season coming.
I can too. I think I saw somewhere that training camp was like 10 days away. I don't know if that's for the early teams or for all teams, but the season...
I believe it's for the early teams. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think this was the Raptors. I was reading something about the Raptors, and they must have an over. I guess they're always international team. International. But yeah.
Except for 2020, 2021.
Yeah, as they will tell you, is the reason for everything bad that's ever happened to Toronto is having to play in tab. Anyway... We were just here minding our own business, planning to do our Southeast and Southwest division previews when all of a sudden, since our last full podcast, I did do the quick mini Beno Udrih interview pod on the feed. You can go check that out if you haven't already. Fun chat with Beno. The Herd are very excited. Also, it's not on the pod. Chatted with the new Herd GM, Artie Culver, as well. He's been in the org for a while. Excited to see what he and Beno together do with that team. Of course, we will have lots more Herd coverage, including interviews going forward this season. So make sure you check those out too. But we just said we're going to go through the teams, recap the player movement, do the over-unders, typical offseason stuff. All of a sudden, there's a mystery Damian Lillard team. Maybe it's the Bucks. Sounds like it may be the Raptors. I feel like there's probably multiple teams, to be honest. And then, I think even more interestingly, but we'll talk about both. Yesterday, I think out of nowhere, I was not expecting this at all. Shams Charania of The Athletic reports that Buddy Hield and the Pacers are talking about potentially trading him. They submitted a contract extension to him. He did not like the contract extension at all, safe to say. I'm surprised by this because I looked at the Pacers and kind of thought they were just all set for the year. And I know extensions can change dialogues, but seemed like they just had a good team and they were all set to go. And all of a sudden, this I'd say bomb at this point in the offseason drops. And of course, let's talk about which of these trades makes more sense for the Bucks, if they can do either, if they should do either. Rohan, where do you want to start? We've done a bunch of Dame. Do you want to do Dame quickly and then do Buddy?
Yeah, let's do Dame quickly just to get it out of the way. I mean, if the mystery East, every fan of every other Eastern Conference team thinks the mystery East team is their team. So it's like the Magic fan. I mean, I don't know if Magic fans are going crazy over this.
Magic fans are like, listen, honestly, the Magic should like Fultz, some other salary. Like one of their bad young point guards, and then they have Dame, Franz, Paolo. Like, why not?
That's a good combo.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they could afford it.
They could, for sure.
They've got a Bulls pick coming in, I think, or maybe they're done with that now.
Yeah, but Dame really wants to go to Florida. He'll get there.
He could. I don't think you could live in Miami and play in Orlando, but he could certainly like weekend in Miami.
He could do the Kawhi thing where he like lives in San Diego. Yeah, he's in LA.
Like just like chopper to the games and back.
Yeah.
Why not?
Seems like Orlando, Jeff Weltman. Get on the phones here. It is Jeff Weltman, right? I'm not going insane.
I know, I think it is, yeah. No longer John Hammond.
Yeah, John Hammond just disappeared into the upper management of the org, aka was fired.
No, hey. He moved on to the front office upstate. He's roaming around there looking for plus wingspan players.
He's at a farm upstate.
Yeah, he's at a front office farm upstate. There's a bunch of 6'10" guys out in the field there. He's evaluating for the next draft. He's having a great time.
7'4" wingspans.
Yeah, they may not know how to play basketball. That's okay. He can teach them.
But yeah, Orlando, get on it. But Dame, like, it's been this just months-long saga at this point that just hasn't gotten anywhere.
I want to say this. I hate Heat fans more for this thing than I did either time they beat the Bucks in the playoffs.
Absolutely.
And I think part of it is there's this weird respect between Bucks and Heat because the Bucks fans, I think they like how we act when we do a playoff series. I feel like Bucks fans, we don't whine as much. I think the Bucks fans are so happy to turn on the team and certain players they don't like that they don't focus as much on the other teams. But every little bit that comes out, and every report is nonsense anyway, but they're always like, this means Riles has the upper hand. Like, if Riles had the upper hand, make the trade. I don't care.
No, it's all the information they're getting anyway is terrible because Woj is a Blazers guy apparently.
Blazers guy Woj.
They're doing the Lakers thing where they were like, someone said, what was it? Like, gun to your head, who are you trusting more, Woj or that Abraham guy?
Ari Abraham, yeah.
Yeah. And someone said the other guy, and it's like, I think it was like, I don't want to name names in case I'm wrong, but like, it was crazy.
Well, and now it's someone said dropping dimes is the new. He reactivated the account again to say the Bucks were the mystery team and deactivated.
It's definitely the same person.
Probably, maybe it is. Ari's comeback is dropped. That would be actually quite a heel turn. The Dame thing, though, it's like. I think the Bucks probably are sniffing around. I mean, they went after Beal. I think it's not a slam dunk decision to go for it. As we've covered with Beal, same deal. You'd have to trade Drew, and probably the same as Beal again. That includes finding a third team who's going to route some picks for Drew to, in this case, the Blazers. Because no, I don't think that they would take, Drew Holiday and Marjan straight up for Dame. Like, that doesn't really make any sense for the Blazers. We love Marjan. I don't think any other fan base is going to really care about Marjan that much, to be honest. They are sleeping. He's coming. But, the Blazers aren't taking Marjan as the long-term piece back for Dame. I don't know how many teams would want to give up like 2 or 3 firsts for Drew. I bet you could find 1 or 2. Like the Knicks, maybe. I think... Dame maybe doesn't make as much sense for them with Brunson, but putting Drew net. But they have a bunch of kind of defensive guards, so I don't know if they would care. OKC maybe if they want to. I don't know what they want to do ever. If they want to do that, yeah, I feel like
it's like I only say OKC because they literally just have too many picks.
That's a good call. I mean, the Pelicans, kind of ironic.
Yeah, give some picks back to the Bucks.
They could low key kind of use him, but I think you do have to give up CJ salary wise there. Or maybe you can do it with JV in parts. I don't know. I haven't dug in.
But just give CJ back to Portland.
That would be really funny. That is what would happen. That would be very funny. I'd kind of feel bad for him. I mean, he could focus more on podcasting there. His true passion.
That's the hardest job in the world.
Podcasting and all the pro sports players say that. I was listening to the Kelsey Brothers pod with Julian Edelman, which is really old, but it's just entertaining. And they all agreed that. And I was like, thank you. Finally, we get some recognition.
This is more difficult than any other job.
I could for sure catch a couple tutties in the Super Bowl, no question.
Yeah, easy.
You know what? Normally, this is an aside. Off-season pod. Normally, I always auto say no to those like, could you score 10 points in an NBA game for $1 million? Like, no normal human could do that. If you think so, Rohan,
unless everyone is in on it.
Yeah, I mean, if they let you do a layup line, but if we're assuming like a normal NBA game,
like the rest of the team, I just cherry pick.
Oh, yeah, maybe. Let's assume no, though. Like you have to really score. Yeah.
Okay, then no.
I almost always say no on these. Like, could you score like 20 points in a full 82-game season if you played 36? Like, no. First off, I bet most normal people wouldn't make it. Like, I don't think I for sure could not physically play 36 NBA minutes. I think the toll of what that takes is probably a little underrated.
People do not realize how freakish these athletes are.
I mean, like, you're just getting dusted both ways on the court, probably getting slammed into like the third row when you go up for a layup, if you even get that far.
Imagine just like who's a massive. Imagine JV, because you mentioned him earlier.
Yeah, Valanciunas.
I'd die.
Yeah.
I'd straight up not exist anymore.
Well, I mean, whoever you're trying to guard has got to. You're just getting crossed up. Like, your ACLs are probably just like shredded iceberg lettuce by the end of the first game. They're going to target you relentlessly. You're terrible. If you're listening to this
in FIBA,
yeah, except much worse. If you're listening to this, you're terrible at basketball. There is 99.9% chance.
Bucks players listening.
I just can't. If Ty's tuned in, not you. But everyone not in the NBA or G League or any other good league, you're not good. Anyway, there was one I saw. Could an average human get 1 NFL rushing yard? I actually think yes. That's like the one where I think probably. 1 yard.
It's relying on your offensive line.
Yeah, that's the thing. So they like Gronk, I think, said if you had a really good line, yes. Otherwise, no. I think just like a good line, not depending on the defense too. But yeah, you just have to fall forward.
I mean, you do get the ball behind the line of scrimmage, so 1 yard.
Yeah, you got to make a couple steps, but you got your line right there.
Yeah, if you have a great line and they're playing like cover
Bears
3,
or like the Bears, where they're just going to get moved either way.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like I'm not saying I'm athletic at all. I'm not saying I would break a tackle. I'm saying I would walk up to the line of scrimmage and fall forward and never get on the field again because I'd be worried about my death. But I think I could get a yard.
I think that's fair.
NFL, if you're listening, I will try this for $1 million. I want the million either way, though.
It's the Gyro Step Bowl this weekend in
it is.
Lambeau.
I'm feeling good about my old team's chances in that. Anyway, listen to Talk of the Tundra and Cruising for a Bruising, even though I didn't mess it up and call one the other this time. One last thing on this. What an off-season pod already.
But the crux of this is
no.
Dame.
All the ones who say anything about baseball are the biggest idiots of all time.
Yes.
Especially hitting or pitching.
Yeah, either side of the ball. It's just like you can't do anything.
Maybe a normal person could catch a fly out if it's hit right to you.
I think I could catch a fly out if I didn't have to like go all Sal Frelick on him. But.
Yeah. Like I'm not jumping to the wall. Let's be realistic here.
Let's assume it's like nighttime, so I don't have to worry about losing it in the lights or anything.
Yeah. It's still the stadium lights. It's still harder than you think. I think that's the only baseball thing anyone could realistically do.
Yeah. Or like catch the ball when they're doing that little wraparound after an out.
Yeah, I could stand on second base and throw it to short. I could do that. They throw me the late grounder by hand. I could do that too.
Yeah.
Somebody's hitting it at me? Hell no. Yeah. I'm not playing the infield. And my arm is not good enough. They're getting a second every single on me if I'm the outfielder. Okay, that's enough sports. I can't wait to hear a bunch of people are going to comment and go, "You guys just suck. I could hit 250 today. I could strike someone out." Hell no.
No, you cannot.
I have been up close to too many G League games. I have too much respect for pro athletes at every level to think that a normal person could fit. And Damian Lillard, how the hell did I get to baseball? I don't know.
The Kelsey Brothers podcast.
Oh yeah, the Kelsey. Thank you. Yeah.
The hardest job in the world.
Yeah, it is. Look how hard it is to just get through a segment on Dame.
Exactly.
To sum it up, because I used all the Dame time about sports talk. I think it's not impossible the Bucks would trade for him, but I think it's super unlikely.
I think it's very unlikely. I wouldn't be shocked if the Bucks were like a team that Dame was like, if I don't get Miami, like the Bucks are maybe okay. I mean,
he said Giannis is the player he wants to play with most before. So I don't buy the Heat culture propaganda like he's immediately demanding another trade to Miami. I don't think so. I think he's playing with Giannis.
That sounds like Dame's agent is just running amok.
If that's not even coming right from Riley. I mean, who knows? There's a spin cycle. There's 3 spin cycles happening from Dame, Portland, and Miami right now. I saw a report that he would only report to camp for Portland and Miami. So why would he go to Portland, he would go to Portland's camp, but not the Bucks or the Lakers? Sorry, LeBron. It was Portland or Miami or bust for me. Come on.
Can't handle it. Sorry, Giannis,
He can't handle the pressure of playing in a major market like Milwaukee. The big market Bucks, not built for everyone.
He can't. It's not for everyone, yep. But
somebody asked, is Dame the best point guard in the league? I said no, but I would say yes if the Bucks got him. I'd
say he's at worst the third.
I'm saying he's at worst the first if the Bucks get him. He's underappreciated. He's more clutch than Steph, that's for sure.
Okay, but he's not on the Bucks yet.
So I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that, but I would say that.
Okay, so what are you saying now?
He's fine.
I'd say he's at worst top 3. Steph's one.
Yeah, I think top 3 pretty easily. I mean, he played last year. It was probably like his best year ever.
Is it him or?
I mean, do you count Luka? This is where
I was going to say, do we count Luka?
I'll put him over Luka right now.
Okay, what about SGA?
SGA might be better this year. So yeah, top 3 is
might have been better last year too.
Yeah, he might have. It's more well-rounded. Dame's a better pure scorer.
That's why it's top 3, top 4.
Yeah. But again, if you want that top 1, no one's caping for you right now, Dame. No one.
No one, not even Portland fans.
I maintain what I said. You look at Bobby Portis's merch lines, those albums are doing better numbers if you play in Milwaukee. I'm just saying.
The Milwaukee music scene's on the up and up, so you gotta get in the ground floor.
Ooh, Dame Ishtar collab mixtape. Let's go. That's what he needs. That's why he needs to consider Milwaukee.
It's the missing piece.
You could have Pitbull. You could have Ishtar. Think about it. Think about it. That's a tough conversation. Anyway,
I've seen Ishtar parked around the city because it's just literally his license plate is Ishtar.
He should have. This is why Ishtar is not triple platinum yet. Why would not make it Ishkar?
Oh, see, that's that's incredible, and that took you 5 seconds.
That's what I'm saying. Ishtar, hire me, brand consultant. Ishtar in my Ish car, going to the Ish bar. Let's open a bar restaurant too.
I was about to say what car it was, but that feels wrong.
No, yeah, don't do that. Don't. I mean, he is calling attention to himself with the vanity plate, but that's okay. People will see it. Anyway. But yeah, Dame traded Drew, Marjan, all the picks probably. Plus whatever Drew gets you, someone else. I think I would do it. I'd do it, yeah. It's hard. I don't think it's easy to do, but the only reality where it happens is like this Miami situation where they're like, we're not going to give you the full offer, heat culture, rings on the table for 1 first-round pick and Kyle Lowry. And then
that started off sounding like you were about to do a Trump impression.
I was going to do a nerd voice, actually. And I was like, oh, they're not really nerds. They're kind of the opposite. I think the Heat are like just like, BSing Portland. And then I don't know how many other teams are. I mean, if the Raptors are involved, Masai is like, we actually need the picks in the trade, not the other way around. You're going to send us Damon picks. We're going to send you Scotty Barnes and salary. So I think that's the situation, which is not impossible, that the Bucks are like the only team that's like, hey, here's everything we've got. If you want it, let's do the deal. And Joe Cronin's like, I'm so sick of this. Fine. Like, sure. But I think that third team is probably the difficult part.
Yeah, it's just going to be about wrangling up whatever else you can. And it's just, it's doable, but it's difficult. And is it worth it? I'd say so. We just said he's at worst top 3-4 point guard in the league.
Yeah, clearly the best offensive player Giannis would ever have played with. I think it's all more likely after the Giannis comments went super viral.
Yeah.
Drew was worth 2 firsts and 2 swaps last time, so. And a pick in the current draft, which, by the way, I don't know if you saw, I posted this. They will have the exact same first-round pick package this coming summer that they had when they got Drew Holiday, and better players to send with. Just saying, everyone, what are you going to get with that? I mean, a player who won you a title like 2 years ago. It's not bad. I'd take one of those again.
Yeah.
Always send for one of those.
Okay, let's talk about someone who's a little more interesting here.
Buddy.
Buddy
Our
Hield.
buddy.
Our buddy, Buddy Hield. It sounds like a Wheel of Fortune before and after.
That's a good one. Wow, I didn't know you were grinding Wheel of Fortune tape like that.
See, I would always watch Jeopardy, and then Wheel of Fortune was always right after. So
I'm glad we agreed Jeopardy is the GOAT of those two shows, and then Wheel of Fortune is just
absolutely. Wheel of Fortune is probably one I'd succeed more at if I were to be a contestant on either show.
I think Jeopardy is almost luck because it's like, what are the I mean, they had I saw once they did a Pokemon category, and to someone like me who plays a lot, they were all remedial questions. So it's really so category based, regardless.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, those contestants have to know everything.
Yeah, they do. I know. They're
so
Ken
like
Jennings.
Have you ever seen Ken Jennings? Like, there's some other people I can't remember.
Yeah. Anyway,
but like the Wheel of Fortune. That's you get your sports thing.
It's fair. Yeah, that's can't argue.
You like, have you ever seen the I know you've seen it because I've watched it with you. The Desus and Mero college Wheel of Fortune episode.
Oh, that was so bad. Yeah.
It's like,
what were they getting wrong? Do you remember?
First of all, they mispronounced Achilles, so they got the question wrong. And the one of the things was on the spot decision, and the guy gets on the spot dice spin, and it's like, what are you doing?
It kind of like shooting dice.
I know it's the college episode, but it's like it's like I could succeed way more on Wheel of Fortune than I could Jeopardy.
I tried out for Family Feud twice. I did pretty well individually.
Really?
Yeah, but my family let me down. It's such a team-based game, and you have to be so energetic. My dad was not I know he's listening. Tim, you did not bring enough energy, excuse me, to our Family Feud tryout.
That's fun.
That's why I'm not a good Family Feud player. I'm too intense, though. I had to force it and fake it. Good answer in my head. Terrible answer. No one's going to say that.
You ever watch those like terrible Family Feud answers?
Oh, yeah.
Funniest videos.
Oh, yeah. Now, Steve Harvey's self-aware now. I saw him go, that's on YouTube, right? After a lady said Atlanta for state names that women have as their first names.
Oh.
And number one was Georgia. She was so close.
I think one of them was like, name a country or whatever. Someone said France, and then someone said Paris, and it's like, okay. What's a word that comes after porcupine? Like, just whatever.
The American geography memes are never gonna go away.
No, they will never. But you know what else will never go away? My
Buddy Hield trade room.
Buddy Hield as the starting shooting guard of the Milwaukee Bucks.
That's clipped.
Yeah. So Buddy Hield is as we talked about, requested a trade. Our buddy Alex Golden pointed out as soon as he changed his jersey number, knew something was off.
Different guy now.
Different guy. But yeah, Buddy Hield is someone that I've actually talked about in this pod before as like, the Bucks should go after him as a trade target. He's on a $19.2 million expiring contract this year with the Indiana Pacers. Obviously wanted a contract extension. Didn't quite get the number he wanted, so now he's requested a trade. Is he actually going to get traded? Are they going to hammer something out? Who knows? But Buddy Hield would slot in pretty perfectly on the Bucks side.
Yeah, I think the reason ultimately I say yes, even though it would cost 2 rotation players in any circumstance, basically, is I think it gives you your best 5-man lineup in the Giannis era, and I think it's really hard to say no to that. So Drew, Buddy, Chris, Giannis, Brooke, I think it's just like an absolute terror. I think the Bucks have never had an auxiliary shooter who's also this good of an offensive player. Buddy last year, just under 17 points a game, shot 42% from deep, 51% from 2, also added 5 rebounds and almost 3 assists. So
consistently one of the best shooters in the league.
Yeah, I mean, a decent rebounder too. I don't think that's anything to overlook given, he's not since his second year has averaged under like 4.5 boards a game, which, what are we looking at for Grayson here? I know Buddy, actually, I don't even know if he plays more, to be honest, but like even better rebounding could be nice on. We've had some of those games where the Bucks Grayson's never hit 4 to compare in 27 minutes per game, and Buddy played 31 last year, so a bit more. But still, good rebounder, just a volume scorer. Since his 2018-19 season, his second full year with the Kings, 20, 19, 16, 15, and then almost 17 points per game. So just more offensive punch than we've seen. And I think in this era of the Bucks where we kind of went from depth to consolidating that depth, this is another move that says, hey, let's have a really great 7-man core versus 9 guys where who knows if 4 of them you'll be able to rely on at all in the playoffs.
Yeah, for sure. And it's like this trade is almost the perfect consolidation trade in terms of you can't get much better, like much more of a clear upgrade at a position than you would with Buddy Hield. Like, I love Grayson, don't get me wrong, but like Buddy Hield is just he provides a dynamism on offense that we just haven't seen from that starting 2 spot. And especially if you're assuming they're going in with Drew Holiday as their starting point guard and no Damian Lillard trade materializes, you need that offensive backcourt punch. You really do. You need someone who can get some shots off, get their own shot, do whatever needs to be done. And by the way, has like actual shooting gravity. Like Buddy Hield is one of those guys in the league who has like actual, like he's never going to be. He's not Steph or anything. He's not Steph. He's not Clay, but he has actual shooting gravity.
He's like in a lot of metrics, he's the closest to Steph in terms of like threes taken and made.
It's ridiculous. Like I said, consistently one of the best shooters. The one thing is that we've never seen it in the playoffs ever.
Yeah,
like he literally has not played a minute in the postseason. So that's like one area where it's like, ooh, if I had to be trepidatious about something, it's there.
Do you know how many games Grayson Allen missed last year?
Missed?
Yeah.
In the regular season?
Yeah.
I don't know, like 15?
10. Do you know how many Buddy Hield has missed in his career?
It's like 20 or something.
6.
Wait, that's ridiculous.
6. He never misses games. And double check me on this while I talk because I don't trust myself. But 82 his rookie year, 80 his sophomore year, 82, 72 in a 72 game year, 71 in a 72 game year, 81, 80. Like he's missed max 2 games a season. He's incredibly durable. He's about 30 years old now. I think he turns 31 this year, or did he just turn 31? He turns 31 in December. Yeah. So. Not a super young player, but more on the Giannis timeline-ish. He's over 30, but just barely. Certainly still seems like he's playing some of his best basketball right now. And with the way he shoots, you would project him to be able to play well for the next few years at least. And I think that durability matters on a Bucks team that is just so often without core players. I mean, Buddy wouldn't be one of their best 4 guys, you would hope, quite yet. But still, having a starter who's that durable and who's that – I mean, just like any lineup can benefit from Buddy Hield on the floor offensively, right? Like it's going to help everyone's life on that end. Of course, defensively, he's not an ace player by any means.
It weakens your point of attack defense.
But probably not that significantly.
I guess. Yeah, it's not like he's still a big dude. Like I'd say like he not big like he's 6'4", but like he's like a strong dude.
Yeah.
But it's like he's not the best screen navigator. He's never been the best defensive player.
No,
ever.
But that's why
better than like Malik Beasley projects to be.
Probably.
Yes.
I forgot you'd have Malik too. That'd be a lot of shooting.
Mm. I keep forgetting that the Bucks have Malik Beasley.
It's such a good. I saw somebody when the Sixers got Kelly Oubre right after we did the pod. Where I said they need some young wings. First of all. I was 3/4 joking about
that means Dame's not going to Miami because he was waiting on Dame to go to Miami to sign there. Same with him and Christian Wood.
Oh, was that? I didn't even. Yeah. I've been off X more, thankfully. I can't sidetrack us again. First off, Kelly Oubre plays no defense and never passes, so it is. I'm not concerned about that signing.
He's the perfect Sixer.
He is. They're gonna love him, and. Somebody replied to my quote tweet about that saying, Horst could never pull off a move like this. My brother in Christ, he signed Malik Beasley like 2 months ago. Did you literally forget? Like, what are you talking about?
I mean, Kelly Oubre
literally happened.
Kelly Oubre is a better player than
at Malik what? Beasley.
Scoring.
Is he?
Yeah.
Who has a higher season average? Top season all time. I don't think Kelly does.
What do you mean? Like in terms of scoring?
Scoring per game.
He just put up 20 a game.
Oh, okay. I mean, Malik had what's Malik's high is around 20? That Timberwolves season.
He topped out at 20.7 actually.
There we go.
No. That was just for the Wolves. The entire season was 19.6.
Okay, so he's a whopping 0.7 behind Kelly Oubre's inspiring Charlotte offer season.
That was three years ago, though. That
resulted in them not offering him any contract. He also shot 31.9% from deep last season. Career 33% 3-point shooter. He's good at scoring if your team doesn't need to win any games. And
I mean, we could say the same about Malik Beasley a bit.
A bit. I mean, that Jazz team was good. The Lakers ended up benching him because he didn't shoot well. I don't think Kelly Oubre is a dramatically better signing. I think Malik Beasley will help the Bucks more than Oubre will help the Sixers this year.
Yeah, because Oubre is going to fight Nick Nurse. Those two are not going to get along.
Yeah. Anyway,
Buddy Hield.
I am low on Oubre, but yeah. Yeah, I think he'd be a really fun addition. I'm all for it.
Yeah, I mean, like you, excuse me, you have to get it done. You have to do Grayson, Bobby, and probably Chris Livingston.
Why? Well, I was assuming my thought was Grace and Bobby in a couple, 1 or 2 seconds.
I'd say I think you have to do Chris because of salary, because the Bucks are over the second apron.
Yeah, but Bobby and Grayson is $20 million.
Is it? Am I tripping right now?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you can do those two and get it done. Vet minimums don't. They change that rule anyway.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So it'd be Bobby and Grayson.
They'd
love Grayson in Indiana.
They would. Bobby Grayson, you got that clean. Here's the. I think this might do it. I think Bobby and Grayson help there. They almost have too much big man depth now, but whatever. They'll figure that out. That clean Portland 24-second. It's a nice little asset right now.
It is.
It's a real nice little asset.
It's almost a first-round pick.
It is. Although, can you get it done with future seconds instead? Maybe. You have a couple, 20, 30 seconds. You have your 2027.
Portland their own second back?
In a team trade? I mean, they probably would want it.
It's not a bad asset.
I mean, add that to the pile of if they do kind of wait to make a big move until the draft. I mean, you're probably talking 2 top 35 picks at worst, plus 2 future first, plus 2 future first swaps, plus young players potentially, plus Bobby or Pat. Grayson's expiring now, so probably not him, but
it'll be
fun little offer.
It is a fun offer for sure, but I think the Bucks have the assets to get it done. It's just are they?
I would not include a first.
No.
Not with Bobby and Grayson.
Not including Bobby and Grayson. And it's if you make that trade, what's your bench forward depth look like?
That's the issue. You're really relying on Boss Man.
Keep forgetting about Boss Man.
Yeah, you can't forget Boss Man.
Ty said we should bring him on.
I tried when he followed me, and then he just unfollowed me.
That was so
and that
funny.
account that tracks who NBA players follow had a fun time with it. I didn't.
Yeah.
I was hoping to get Boss Man on the pod.
Maybe we still can't. Boss Man, if you're listening to this, I'm sorry for the things I've said. Actually, no, I'm not.
I'm not.
I'm not sorry for the things
I've been pretty pro Boss Man. I think he should come on the pod, to be honest. I would put everything on the screen in all caps. It's only right.
On the bottom, it doesn't even say Jay Crowder. It just says Boss Man.
It would say Boss Man. Why would it not say Boss? Of course it would say Boss Man.
I love that Ty called him Boss Man.
Well, I think, did he say it first or did we say it first?
No, we said it first.
Yeah.
We said it first. But he echoed it, which was hilarious.
I could never call him Jay. I think I'd say, hey, Boss Man, how's it going? It's too good of a moniker.
I think he'd only respond to Boss Man.
I would hope so.
But you'd be relying a lot on Boss Man in that situation.
The funny, he seems like such a polite, soft-spoken person in most interviews. It's so funny versus the Twitter all caps. So yeah, your rotation would be starting lineup. Great, no notes. Drew, Buddy, Chris, Giannis, Brooke. Your bench then Pat. Okay, we'll take Pat as a 6th man. Could start in some constructs too. Malik Beasley, Boss Man, Marjan.
Robin Lopez.
As that part hasn't changed. I mean, I guess Bobby's kind of a backup center. Yeah.
Bobby is better as a backup center than a starting center. Bobby survives as a backup center.
Yes.
He does not survive as a starting center.
Yes.
And if there is an option to play him with Brooke or Giannis, you take that.
Is it almost too much shooting specialists on the roster? AJ Green's in your top 10 too then.
It does. That's why I feel like a consolidation trade is almost needed. But it's
but you can't trade a lot of these guys right now.
Exactly,
and they're just minimums.
Exactly. So it's and if you're trading for another guy who is a shooting specialist in Buddy Hield, it's would I rather it be a point guard who's available? Yeah, absolutely.
If that player exists, sure.
Exactly. But that just hasn't materialized.
Yeah.
You take what you can get. You take talent when you can get it. And like I said up top when we started talking about this, Buddy Hield is a seamless fit in the starting 5. Seamless.
Yeah. I would do it.
I'd do it. Just don't throw in a first. Don't throw in Marjan.
Yeah. Agreed. I think I would do it because you're not giving up any defensive specialists to get him. So if anything, the roster is just already a little offensive heavy. Like Grayson and Bobby. I mean, both players have improved defensively, but it's not like either one of those are guys you look at and go, that's one of our stoppers.
Grayson had a fine defending season.
A fine defending season. If your defense is busted because you swap out Grayson for Buddy Hield, your defense was busted anyway.
Yeah.
So, and obviously they have Giannis, they have Drew, they have Brooke. Like they can cover some of these spots, and we'll see like what Marjan does. We'll see, does Andre Jackson get in the rotation at all? It would pave the way to more young guy minutes. Like I said, I think at that point, assuming Robin isn't going to play all the time, I think some of these young guys are playing more. Is Drew Timme getting like a two-way in this situation?
Oh, God. No. I will believe
TA playing center?
Yes. I will believe the Drew Timme hype when I actually get to see him play.
I will say, here's an eye raiser from the Bano interview. I asked about the 3 two-way point guards and how he could coach them up because he was a point guard. And he goes, those spots, unfortunately, can change quickly. I was like, okay.
Oh.
I mean, he's had G League experience. No indicators talking about these specific players. I was like, it's interesting first thing to say to that question.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting tidbit there.
Yeah.
Maybe that's saying, like, watch out for some news.
If it happens next week, I am going to feel like we had a little insider info there.
Yeah. We should have a segment where we have, like, some insider information, but it's like if it's true, you have to credit. Like I listened to this one podcast where it's like they if ever they get like insider information, they call it their hot scoop or shot of poop segment, and they always make it. It's like if it ends up being true, you have to reference the segment name.
Nice.
So we should do something like that.
Yeah. We'll workshop it. We'll workshop it.
We'll get back in the lab. It is the off season still.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, Buddy Hield, I think, is just to put a cap on it. I think we're both pro Buddy Hield. Just don't give up too many assets.
Yeah,
if you end up getting outbid by some teams who wants to throw in a first, be my guest.
Yeah, the playoffs point is a really good one because we have seen some.
Yeah, that's not to say that he won't perform well in the playoffs, but we have seen some players that have dropped off in the playoffs,
especially ones who rely on shooting.
And exactly, and there's no telling whether Buddy's going to be that or not because it would be his first time.
Yeah, I want to believe though.
Believe in Buddy.
Also, Kevin Pritchard said he loves him. He brings so much like light and levity to practice. I think you can always use more guys like that too. You get
to raise another flag in the practice facility.
Oh no, it was OKC who was Seven Nation, not the Bucks. I was going to say, does he get them to the Seven Nations? No.
No, you get the Bahamian flag in there.
Yeah, that's a cool one.
He's done some really good stuff for the Bahamas. Also, like, and this is not a knock on anyone on the Bucks. I'm just saying about Buddy. Like, Buddy seems like just a fantastic dude.
Yeah.
You want, and like you were saying about Kevin Pritchard's comments, like you want guys like that.
100% agree.
Should we get to some over/under size?
Let's do it.
We've done a lot of waffling.
We have. We're big waffle.
It's going to be a long podcast. Folks.
It is.
People like that though.
People do, as long as it's not totally outdated.
Like, yeah, if I see a podcast and it's like, oh, it's like less than an hour, I almost get a little like ugh.
Yeah, you want to dive in, sink your teeth into it a little bit.
Yeah, and it's like, and it'll last me like multiple car rides.
Yeah. That's always a plus.
Because I always listen to pods when I'm driving.
Shout out to everyone who's just like driving, they see a new Gyro Step, and they're like, ooh, want to put that. Like, appreciate you guys.
We appreciate. Yeah. We appreciate everyone who listens.
Yeah, in any circumstance. I think we do a great Doing the Dishes podcast as well, but leave that up to the people.
You're not a dishwasher person?
Not currently. Didn't have one in the house, and now it's like, you got to reposition the kitchen. It's a whole thing. If I had a dishwasher, I'd be a dishwasher person.
Okay, that's fair.
You can't dishwash everything. Anyway, I could talk about dishwashing all day. The Atlanta Hawks, the first by alphabet team in the Southeast, a team I have a lot of trouble with cognitive dissonance because I just always assume they're going to be right around 500 because that's what they've done for a while now. They mostly added rookies, but a couple old guys, Patty Mills and our guy Wes Matthews. Of course, they
salute to Wes Matthews, man.
I wish a better team had given him a shot, but
I wish he would have gotten a chance at a ring.
Yeah,
this is probably his last
not it,
round.
and this is not the team for that. Maybe he'll get traded.
Honestly, if he would have signed with like I would have I wouldn't have, it wouldn't be my first choice. If he signed with the Celtics, or the Warriors, or the Lakers, usually I'd be upset about that, not with West.
You know, I mean, it would have been beautiful. I think Denver has a pretty good shot. I think he actually could help them. Denver would have been really good.
Like I would like Wes Matthews is the guy. I would not be upset about leaving the Bucks and ring chasing, even though I got upset the first time he did it.
Yeah, I didn't get. I mean, I saw why because of what happened. This time, I think it was clear they wanted to get a lot younger, so I don't think anyone could be mad. I think he would have been a great nugget. I think they could use what he provides too. But oh well. They lost.
Be like a little bit of a JaMychal Green replacement ish.
Yeah,
not JaMychal Green. Who am I thinking? JaMychal Green was on the Warriors.
Jeff Green.
Jeff Green's still there. Oh, Jeff Green. Yeah, Jeff Green.
Yeah, Jeff Green got a bag in Houston. Apparently, Aaron Holiday signed with Houston.
Sure.
That's what it says on this sheet. Hopefully that's correct. Also, they gave away John Collins for a bag of chips. Their over-under is 42.5, so Vegas agrees with me that Atlanta is always going to be right around 500.
I'm smashing the under.
This has been interesting because it's like an NBA, like Zach Lowe is like kind of high on the Hawks, like I don't know why.
Zach Lowe's been high on the Hawks, but like he has like I really enjoy Zach Lowe's analysis.
I plug Zach Lowe every day. I listened to that the other day. Our clip of you saying that. It's so funny.
Yeah, our clip of me saying that.
No, of you calling me out for saying that.
Okay.
Sorry. No, I said it. I'm not trying to. Yeah, I'm not trying to deflect this one. I certainly did say that.
I really appreciate that. Like he's one of the best minds. He has some teams where he's just like he can't quit those teams for whatever reason. It's the Sixers,
the Raptors, the Hawks.
Yeah, and I will never understand the Hawks because
and the Nuggets, which he won on.
Yes, the Nuggets is understandable. The Hawks, I'm hitting the under. They didn't improve this season. They didn't. They got worse.
Yeah, I think.
Like year 2 of DeJounte and Trey, I do not expect to go any better than year 1 of DeJounte and Trey.
The optimist take is Quinn Snyder's full season, cool. The young guys like Jalen Johnson and maybe Okongwu, who I think is actually a little overrated now, are getting it better.
I think Okongwu's good. I don't think he's like future star. Like
I don't even know if he's going to be a good starter because he's just short.
Yeah, he's like a 6'9" center.
Yeah.
There's only so much you can do.
Bismack. I love Bismack.
I mean, it's also Clint Capella.
It's true. Bam is kind of short too. You know how I feel about Bam.
He's a mid-range assassin.
He is. He's a sniper. God, what did I?
They went 500 last year.
Of course they did.
Yeah,
I don't think they were ever more than 2 games away from 500 last year.
No, that was like the big streak. Or whatever it was going.
I'm going to take the under 2 by half a game or a game and a half.
They didn't improve. They got actively worse.
I don't like when your young star is low key sort of in trade talks the summer before. I don't think that ends well. Also, like despite the playoff run where he was pretty good. Is Trae Young a player who's going to get you a lot of games in an 82-game season or a lot of wins because of the defense? Probably not.
It helps he's literally it doesn't help, I should say, that he's literally one of the worst defenders ever.
That's what I mean, yeah.
Ever. Obviously he's the bottom of the league every year, but just in terms of actual NBA history.
And just takes a lot of threes, doesn't always make them all.
Yeah, he had a down shooting year. Maybe he's set for an up shooting year because we know he has that talent.
Yeah.
Maybe this is a Trae Young FU year. I don't think a Trae Young FU year gets you where you need to be, though.
I mean, that would probably get the over, but is it going to be a Trae Young FU year to the rest of the league or to the Hawks?
Might be to the Hawks.
That's the problem.
Future Laker.
He only has 1 year above 36% from 3, actually.
Yeah, but the volume's ridiculous.
But I mean, at a certain point, it's that's cool. Take 7 a game and make 35%. That's not really all that good. He takes some bad ones. I'll take the under 2.
Okay.
Would you want the Bucks to trade for him or no?
Depends on the price.
I think I'm getting toward just no. I'm getting toward just no. I've said yes before.
You would also be the best offensive player that Giannis has ever played with.
How many times would he shoot a 3 while Giannis is open in the post?
I'd hope not a lot. I'd hope so, but also it's
We've
Don't you want
seen
Dame
Drew
to do that?
We've seen Drew freaking Holiday do it, and he's not as offensive of a player as Trey.
Let it fly, baby.
Yeah, Dame does it. I'm more okay. As Dame is Dame. That's a different story.
That's the thing. That's the thing, though. It's like if you're okay with one player doing it who has like a similar
Who's better?
chance of it.
Has a much higher chance of percentage-wise, way different chance of making it.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah,
I think
that's
we
the
are
whole
ignoring
deal.
that Dame is one of the best shooters ever.
Yeah, like that's shoot whatever you want, buddy.
I'm walking that back immediately.
Yeah. Even Buddy wants to shoot some. Go right ahead. The volume and percentages are different. That's why, it's cool that like Trey, people say this about Luka too, like, oh, the degree of difficulty. That's fine. Dame, Steph, Buddy are making 40+% of their 8+ threes per game. Like Buddies are easier than the other guys, of course, but like I don't give you that many extra points for like, oh, it's hard, so that's why it's bad. It's still not a good shot. Anyway, Charlotte Hornets. Speaking of not good. They're up next.
Sorry, Andrew, but everyone tweeted Andrew Snyder at AC Snide. Tell him just dump him. Be a Bucks fan.
Yeah,
everyone tweeted Andrew. Andrew, if I know you're listening to this, I love you, Andrew. Just do it. Just cut bait, because it's like they're not a Jordan-owned franchise anymore. But no, the ripple effects of whoever the new owners are, I can't remember their names.
I can't either. Strangely.
It's Charlotte. It's fine.
Yeah.
The team, not the city, let me be clear. Again, I'm saying that because Andrew's.
Oh, yeah.
The team, not the city. It's bad. It's
big offseason acquisitions to feel good about. Miles Bridges and Brandon Miller.
Brandon Miller, you feel better about.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a low bar, though.
Yeah.
The bar is the floor. Like, Miles Bridges should be in prison.
Brandon Miller was just like a light alleged. I'm just going to cut it off there. We all know.
Yeah, we just look it up.
It's light by Hornet standards.
Kai Jones is doing wild shit on Instagram.
Yeah, calling out teammates by name, saying he's better than them.
Sorry, that's explicit thought.
Yeah, it is now. That's fun. They swapped out Dennis Smith Jr. for Frank Ntilikina, which just feels like something NBA Twitter would do for no real reason, or especially like draft Twitter.
Yeah. Draft Twitter would, because they can't realize they were wrong about Frank
or Dennis.
Dennis is good.
That's what I mean. The other way.
Oh, the other way. Yeah. Okay. I thought you were saying initially, because I was like, DSJ was like a top 10 pick.
No. No. I think the draft Twitter intelligentsia was probably a little lower on him because he's American, and that's typically how it goes. They also lost Svi Mihailuk to the Celtics and Kelly Oubre now to the Sixers. Dennis Smith Jr. to the Nets. They add Miles Bridges, which I don't know if that's really an ad.
They add back because he didn't play last year. Because again, he should be in prison.
Ntilikina, Brandon Miller, and a couple of rookies. Amari Bailey.
The line is 31.5.
Pretty low.
You also have to understand that last season LaMelo missed a lot of time.
And I read the year before that when he was really good, he played something like 98% of his minutes with Miles Bridges. So I do think that combination could work. Yeah, I mean the lob threat with LaMelo, it makes a lot of sense. I am going under. Here's my cross-sport reasoning. I think we're finally getting like some sports karma in the world. Deshaun Jackson just sucks now after taking a year. Watson.
Deshaun Jackson.
All-time great. Yeah. Deshaun Watson just sucks now after the year off for crime.
It's amazing.
And it's great. It wasn't even an injury. It's just like, he's just bad. He just doesn't look good. They have a really good team, and he's totally letting them down. I think it's great, personally.
It's
every time
wonderful. I've never I was watching, what was it, Steelers, Cleveland?
Yes. He was bad.
I've never rooted against someone more in my life when watching a sporting event. Like I was every time Pittsburgh did something, I was like all up, like, let's go. And it's not like, oh yeah, TJ Watt, Wisconsin guy is doing good stuff. It's like, nope, I just want to see Deshaun Watson fail.
Oh, we got a breaking news Hurd trade.
Oh.
3-way deal. Rob Edwards goes to Cleveland. The Hurd get a first-round pick in 2024 G League draft. They're reshaping the roster. They also dealt Jonte Porter, who got an Exhibit 10 with the Pistons organization, for 2 players, one of whom I think they also traded for a future pick. So the Herd are wheeling and dealing, getting ready for a new season with a new coach. Be interesting to see who they bring in.
New coach, new GM?
Yep.
It's all up there. Ty, you'll have it covered. I'll be up there sometimes.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to get you back up there. Anyway, the Hornets. So yeah, I am manifesting a Deshaun Watson career now for Miles Bridges because both guys can eat shit. So under.
Yeah. I want to say, I'm going to say under just because of my morals. I don't really believe in it, though.
I believe in it. LaMelo is super injury prone.
31, he played 36 games last year.
What'd they win?
Not a lot.
I mean, here's a way to do this. How many teams in the East?
They won 27 games.
How many teams in the East are for sure worse than them versus better than them?
That's fair. I think the Wizards. No, I don't know if the Wizards are.
That tells you all you need to hear.
No, the Wizards are worse. The Wizards are worse.
Probably.
I'd say the Wizards are worse. Who's their best player? Jordan Poole.
Jordan Poole. They still have Kuzma.
I'd take LaMelo over either of those
the
guys.
Wizards probably have better depth.
They might have.
They kind of have a random collection of pretty solid NBA players. DeLon Wright's still there, and another point guard still there, right? Monte Morris.
Monte Morris got traded.
No, they have the younger one from Denver. No, that was Monte Morris. Did they get Tyus Jones? I think they did.
Yeah,
I think they have another one.
They got Tyus Jones. They got Tyus Jones. I was like, Monte Morris got traded to the Pistons, I thought.
Daniel Gafford's a fine player. They still have some of those young guys that they've drafted. Denny Avdia is a pretty good defender.
Corey Kispert,
a little shooter. A little sneaky good on 2K franchise. Corey Kispert.
I'd still think
we'll get to we can talk about the Wizards and a couple of teams here.
We could just do the Wizards now also because we just talked
about
them.
Oh yeah, I have. Why was I asking? I have it right in front of me. So they added Tyus Jones, Jordan Poole, Pat Baldwin Jr., Bilal Coulibaly, Gallo, Mike Muscala, Eugene Omori. That's a real player. Ryan Rollins and Landry Shamit's contract. Of course, lose Bradley Beal, Kristaps Porzingis, Taj Gibson, who just signed somewhere.
He signed with
the Wizards. Oh,
yeah,
so never mind.
With the Wizards.
Jordan Goodwin and Monte Morris.
Yeah. Also, a quick aside for everyone talking about Thanasis, by the way, for the discourse. First of all, it hurts. You're hurting me personally when you do that.
I don't do it just for you.
Thank you. I appreciate that because you're a real friend, Ty.
Mm-hmm.
Taj Gibson just re-signed with the Wizards. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. I mean, the 15th roster spot is either open for a lot of teams or just like, this guy's got good vibes. He's good energy. Ish Smith, didn't Ish Smith re-up with the Nuggets?
I believe so. Reggie Jackson got a bag from the Nuggets.
Well, he plays more games. I wouldn't count him in this. Oh, no, they did not re-up Ish Smith. Never mind.
Oh, whoops. But, yeah. Taj Gibson back with the Wizards. And it's like, come on. Again, the Wizards, their line is 24.5.
I think I'm going over.
I'm going over.
So
it's hard.
Starting the lineup. Starting the lineup.
Lose that many games.
Tyus Jones, Jordan Poole. Let's just say Avdia. It could be Kispert, whatever. Kyle Kuzma, Daniel Gafford, with like Mike Muscala, who's a good NBA player. Gallo's making his comeback. Coulibaly.
Coulibaly, I think, is going to struggle year one.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be very good right away, but
I think he's going to be a fine player. I just don't think year one. He seems like he has one of those games that isn't going to translate right away. In the sense, like he projects to be like a great defensive player.
Yeah.
That doesn't necessarily win you games or win you minutes your rookie year.
Still have DeLon Wright too.
Yeah.
Johnny Davis is bad, but
Johnny Davis is bad. Pat Baldwin Jr. is bad.
Probably. I think that's a fun flyer though.
Pat Baldwin Jr. can't jump.
Not everyone needs to jump. Yeah,
he's also not 7 feet tall.
He's 6'9".
Yao Ming didn't need to jump.
I think he could be. How high is Michael Porter Jr. jumping on an average play?
A lot. Have you seen his jumper?
No. I think Patrick Baldwin could be like a rotational shooting specialist. How much is Mike Muscala jump? How about that? His teammate. You can learn from him now.
That's fair.
I think they could win 25 games. What they win last year?
They won 35 games last year.
With Beal and Porzingis. But
the thing is, only 3 teams did worse than 24 games last year.
Also, Beal only played 50 last year, and Porzingis' healthiest season ever was 65 games. So it's not like those guys played 82.
Celtic savior, Kristaps Porzingis.
I mean, they gave up to end the year. Kuzma stopped playing as well.
Yeah, I think Kuzma's good. I think Kuzma's legit good. I think Jordan Poole is going to lead the league in scoring.
I think they probably trade some guys, but like
I'd go over.
I think it's just hard. I don't think they're going to run out of real players. Like every trade, they're going to take back something. I'll take in the over as well.
Yeah, I'm taking the over.
This is just generally a good strategy, by the way, to go over on the really low ones and under on the super high ones, because that's generally how it goes.
For sure. Orlando? Let's talk about Orlando.
Let's do Orlando. So really a quiet summer. They added our guy Joe Ingles. Not really our guy anymore. Definitely not your guy.
Definitely not. I appreciate Joe Ingles as a human being.
Yes.
Very much respected. One of the best guys. Have fun in Orlando, Mike.
They lost the menace of the Oak Creek Mire, Admiral Schofield, as well as Bol. It's not actually good. Michael Carter-Williams and Jay Scrubb. And then they drafted Anthony Black and Jet Howard.
Their over is 30 or over under is 36.5. They do have a really good core.
I'm punching over on that.
I'm hitting the over.
They were 500 for like half of last season.
I think they're going to shock a lot of teams this year. I think they might make. I think they're a
play-in team. I think they're a play-in team.
I think they're a play-in team. Like when you have Franz, you have Paolo. Like
that's a really
Franz,
good.
Obviously, that's really good. That's like how many young duos are better than that in the league?
Not many. I was gonna say that's why I like them over Charlotte because their number's higher. But like, I take that over LaMelo, Miles Bridges,
abs every day of the
or
week.
Brandon Miller if you want to sub him in.
Like I think LaMelo projects to be a better player than. Actually, I don't know.
No, rank who you'd rather have on your team going forward. LaMelo, Franz, Paolo. It's not.
I think I'd go Franz, LaMelo, Paolo.
Oh wow!
I might even
do Paolo first.
The thing is, that's why I said I think Paolo projects to be the best out of all of those guys.
Yes.
You get better production right now with Franz.
Yeah, it's getting close though.
It is getting close.
Paolo was looking like a young Bosch or something out there in the World Cup. That defense, I was shook.
He trailed off last regular season.
Yeah,
which is why it was
rookie wall.
Rookie wall, and but you're right. International play really opened it a lot of people up to. Oh yeah, he's still that guy.
It was the defensive end for me that I was like, man, he's moving so well. He's blocking a bunch of shots.
Again, you're not dealing with NBA athleticism.
No, but I mean, he's also coming off of year one.
That's fair, but also it's in FIBA basketball, it's easier to get a lot of those recovery blocks.
Yeah, but I mean, he doesn't have to play center though. He could do some light Giannis stuff as a roaming help defender and be pretty devastating. I think.
That's fair. I think, like I said, I agree with you. I think Paolo is going to be the best of all of those guys.
Yeah.
Right now, I'd take Franz just because that's guaranteed.
Are you saying for this season or for going forward?
For this season.
Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah.
For this season, I'd take Paolo going forward.
Yeah.
Paolo, I think I'd take LaMelo over Paolo for this season.
Probably, yeah. The health thing is real.
Miles Bridges is last, obviously. If I could not pick him.
No, I just said those three. I don't even care. I think that's the interesting. No one cares about. Or Brandon Miller, who's maybe going to be good someday, but maybe not. They have
a really good core.
Here's the thing with Orlando. They have 15 young point guard-ish players. If any one of them pops, suddenly they're OKC level. They're going to be a problem for 10 years. And they might fuck it up like OKC did. I remember I could swear, but I think it's not as good as the last OKC, but it's that level of they're really really set.
Yeah, they're one guy popping. I hope it's Fultz, man. I really hope it's Fultz.
Yeah, I kind of think we know what's there.
They played a 500-ish team when Markelle in the lineup last year.
Yeah, I more think if Suggs was figured it out, then it's oh, okay. If they're Fultz, Suggs is can you start them together? Maybe
they need a shooting point guard. I'm sorry, I want Markelle in the Bucks, but I want Markelle to succeed more than maybe anyone in the league.
Yeah. When you survive the Sixers, you deserve good things.
Yes, you do. Yeah, we're both smashing the over there.
Yep. And then moving over, I think we're gonna all agree on all 5 of these teams. Miami Heat over under 48.5.
Under.
Super under. What they win last year?
They won 40.
I mean, they were in the play-in. It wasn't that many.
44 games. I mean, this is also assuming that they do not have Damian Lillard, which they do not.
Yeah.
If Dame went to Miami, I think I'd take the slight over. But we have to operate under the assumption that he hasn't been traded, because he hasn't been traded.
Yes, and I think the under is still in play.
I think the under is still in play.
Their
depth already got lost this offseason. And to get Dame, you're going to have to trade more depth.
Yeah.
Like they got back they lost Max Strus, they lost Gabe Vincent, 2 starters for them in the playoffs. One of them was made probably because Tyler Hero got hurt, but yeah, whatever. Either way, 2 very, very important rotation players. Omer Yurtseven doesn't matter. Cody Zeller doesn't matter.
I mean, those guys gave him some minutes.
Not really. Cody Zeller tried. Omer didn't really.
No, but regular season maybe. Not.
Cody Zeller was only there because he had to be.
Someone has to be.
They
got Thomas Bryant, who probably cancels that, but
Thomas Bryant's better than Cody Zeller, I think.
I don't think it's clear cut.
I'm going to say yes.
Okay.
Cody Zeller was an active detriment to them in the finals. It was really funny.
Well, do you think Thomas Bryant is going to do something against the Jokic team?
I mean, he has the insider info.
I think any backup center in the league is going to be an active detriment when you're going up against Nikola Jokic and if he's out there at the same time.
That's valid.
Yeah.
You lost Heat culture.
Yep, that's a big loss. Big loss in UD. They tried to throw him another parade. He said, not this time.
And Oladipo to OKC, which is a sneaky,
salary dump. They just said,
it was
we're
a salary
good.
Dump, but it's like...
What? Is he even going to play most of this year?
I don't know.
Because he just had another thing in the playoffs.
If he gets cut, he's signing with the Bucks.
To a front office deal, or
might be an Exhibit 10.
I'm giving up on the Oladipo to Milwaukee. They had Josh Richardson, who they had to pretend to be excited about because he was a Heat player in one of the worst eras of Heat basketball, and Thomas Bryant and Jaime Jaquez Jr.,
who looks good.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
He looks like, again, summer league, but he looks like he could be good. And again, he would be gone in a Dame deal. Nikola Jovic would likely be gone.
And then
Tyler
Lowry, Hero, Duncan, 2 of those 3.
Yeah,
Duncan had a good playoffs.
He did have it. I mean, yeah, he shot 70% from 3 against the Bucks.
Well, and
I'm not upset.
The way he was moving really well in later rounds too. Like he was getting to the rim.
He was above 70%. Ridiculous. It's because we said something about him.
Yeah.
Podcast here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm taking the under. Like we're both taking the under. It's like they got worse. It's another team that got worse in the East, and it's like this. Like doing this exercise makes me feel a lot better about the Bucks because you go through and it's like how many teams in the East improved?
Mostly just the bad ones. Cleveland's the big. We'll get to Cleveland in next pod. They're a big winner, I think, this summer.
Cleveland. You could say the Knicks got better.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, they did beat Cleveland, so that's fair. But
yeah, I mean, like the Celtics either stayed or they got a little worse.
We'll see.
Philly is imploding, so whatever. And it's like those are the only like top teams in the East, and you don't even want to count Philly, but I will.
Not anymore. We'll see.
But a lot of teams in the East got worse. A lot of teams. You could say the Bucks got worse. But they also have a massive upside.
Yeah.
They added talent. They got a new coaching staff.
Makes me feel Philly kind of did too, but yeah, I don't think there's anyone anywhere who's like Philly had a better summer. Talent? They added talent.
Did they?
Your guy Kelly Oubre, 20-point per game scorer. Pat Bev.
Okay, we did this last week. I mean, I took the over on them.
Yeah.
But
it's not a very high number. Vegas is kind of low on them, I think. Anyway.
Yeah, like taking the under sub 50 for them.
Yeah.
But it's like you add like Mo Bamba, Danny Green, Pat Bev. That's not adding talent. And Kelly Oubre. But like...
No, these are guys who were available at those prices for a reason.
Exactly. Like Malik Beasley's a guy who could have gotten like a partial MLE. You
would think so, for sure. We got to get Malik on the pod to figure out what happened there.
He's too busy just living at the practice.
He is. And posting, he has a Fashion Nova deal.
Does he?
Yes. He posts his fits and tags.
I don't follow him on Instagram.
Oh, you got to follow Malik Beasley. Dude, he will post, I think, his wife on his story, and it's like pretty adorable how he does it. I think she also may have a deal with, maybe it's like a package deal. But yeah, he's a very fashionable guy.
Okay.
Let me double check I have the brand right.
No, he does have a fashion. It's in his bio. But yeah, taking the under on the Heat. I mean, like, they did deal with a lot of injury issues last year. Maybe, like, Kyle Lowry missed, like, the entire season. I don't know if that helps you at this stage.
Yeah.
And, this is all assuming they don't make a Dame trade, by the way. Is Tyler Hero going to come back and be like, oh, I'll prove it to you guys? Or is it going to be like a trade me anyway type season for Tyler Hero?
I think he'll play pretty well.
I mean, he's always going to play pretty well. Like, he's a good player. I think he helps them, but like, again, like when you lose depth and you don't really make an effort to gain more depth, like Max Strus and Gabe Vincent were elite shooters.
Yeah.
For them. They didn't add any shooters.
No.
I mean, I guess if you want to throw Jaime Jaquez into the mix right away.
Don't think he's that good of a shooter right now, though. Seems like the book on him is more like basketball player.
Slasher.
Yeah.
Slasher.
The other thing with them, and I think it's too early still.
But it's like what I'm saying is it's not Josh Richardson. It's not Thomas Bryant.
No,
I mean, maybe if Jovic gets more of a rotation role, I could see that.
I think.
I mean, like you laugh, but it's like he dominated. In the
I know. Mamu does too.
I haven't caught. Okay.
I just want to. Rondae Hollis-Jefferson scored 40 and they called him Kobe. World Cup is World Cup.
To be fair, like he also did say he started modeling his game. I was reading, I think it was Brian Windhorst's story on him.
Yeah.
Apologies, but it wasn't.
It was. I think it was Windy.
But it's like, he actually changed his entire basketball game to emulate what Kobe would be like as a player, and it's like, he actually did it.
Yes.
To a degree.
To a degree.
In I will say he's not
basket against Jordan. Or for Jordan?
For Jordan.
Against China.
Against the US?
Yeah. Kobe did like to win the games.
Most of the time.
Jimmy Butler, 34 now. Just a player who can't rely on shooting most of the time, except when he's playing the Bucks. Just like, I don't think we're there yet. But we're getting to a point where, like, how long can he just, like, bully? Because that's a lot of his game is just, like, pure athleticism, and he's not a super springy athlete. Just something to keep an eye on.
It's like a strength thing.
Yeah, I just think.
You know what that reminds me of?
What?
Since we can swear now, it reminds me of that. I'm not saying you're emulating this, but it reminds me of the tweet. It's like, LeBron's 30 now. This fucker, he can't go on much longer.
Yeah. It does. I feel like that's saying it. Like I said, I don't think this year he significantly slows down.
But it's like Father Time will catch up with him.
I mean, that player in his mid-30s. I mean, people are saying Giannis has already passed his peak at 29. It's not true at all. No. But I just let's keep that same energy for a smaller guy, 5 years older, who also relies a lot on athleticism and physicality. Anyway.
Okay. Time for the Southwest.
The Dallas Mavericks.
45.5 wins.
Tough one.
These people are very good at their jobs.
Yeah.
That's how the house always wins.
Exactly.
But they have a very, very busy offseason.
I really liked it.
After tanking to get out of the play-in, they got their top 10 draft pick. They make like 1 billion trades on draft night. You lose Christian Woods, you lose Bertans, you trade away Reggie Bullock to the Spurs. Justin Holiday signs away. Frank Ntilikina, Theo Pinson gone. In comes your two rookies, Derek Lively the second, and my guy, Omax Prosper.
Kind of a sneaky, really good pick for them, it seemed like. A lot of
looks-
people liked Omax.
I'm gonna be rooting for Omax then.
He's like a kind of a big, useful wing, right?
Yeah. And it's like
It's a player they could use that archetype.
exactly why, and that's what I think a lot of people are high on this pick for Dallas because of that reason. It's like, one, I mean, who couldn't use like big rangy wings? And Dallas was one of those teams that like didn't have any. Their only rangy wing was like Tim Hardaway Jr., who's a guard.
Yeah, it's a bad place to be. Reggie Bullock, as Tim McMahon says it, is probably their next closest.
Isn't that not how it's pronounced?
I think it is. It's just the way he says it extra Texas.
Yeah. I could listen to Tim McMahon talk all the time.
He should do like audiobooks.
He should. I'd listen to like him read Lord of the Rings.
He's doing the cat in the hat, and like the cat does something bad. He's just like in a very Bond Temps kind of move. I would listen to all of these.
I would do that.
That's a bad accent. Sorry, Tim.
This is how you know we're so engrossed in NBA media. Excuse me. When we're talking about like having an NBA media personality read us audiobooks.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I'm in on these books. Like I would absolutely, it would be a good idea.
But you add those rookies. You add Grant Williams, who Boston just let them like, hey, you know what? We're not paying. I take him.
This may be my favorite. Like this and Strus is up there too. One of my favorite. Like their team clearly needed that guy, and they went and they got him.
Yeah, there was a massive need for like a switchable forward, like we were talking about, and Grant Williams fits that mold. Like we talked about this last episode, where when we were talking about the Celtics, and you had mentioned a great point about how they had to like bully Joe Mazzulla into playing Grant Williams in the playoffs, and it's like, oh, this actually helps because he kind of fell out of the rotation. He massively fell out of the rotation last season, and he came back in the playoffs. And it's like Grant Williams is a guy who's like, I don't know, as a player, I feel like he's easy to hate because he's like, he's always going to be that guy who like takes charges, always defends your favorite team's best player. But it's like also like off the court, he seems like a great dude.
We really wanted to get him a couple of years ago, and that rumor was going around about the Celtics and who were the Bucks trade? Was that?
Dante, yeah. It was Dante, and it was like initially Dante for like Dennis Schroeder, and it's like, hey, can you throw in Grant Williams?
Yeah, that would have been awesome.
I'll give you credit. You were there. I wasn't.
Big Grant guy.
Grant Williams gets there, and it's just like also just like him pointing at like what's the biggest like I think he tweeted like. So it was like a thing where it's like someone said, "What's the biggest I'm not him moment?" And then he quote tweeted with himself saying, "I'm gonna make them both."
Yeah,
it's just like you love players who are like self-aware like that.
But you need guys who bring that fire too, and I think it's not bad that he like when he pissed off the Heat, like at least it got the team playing.
For sure. He's always going to be an agitator, but not in like a dirty play sort of way.
No, it's just like too cocky, but not like he's shooting 50 times. Not Dylan Brooks style.
I was gonna say not Dylan Brooks.
That's the number one guy you're thinking of right now, of course.
Yep. I think Andre Iguodala said on his podcast that Dylan Brooks has to be crazy, otherwise he wouldn't be in the league.
Yeah. I think that's a lot of guys.
It is, but it's also really funny that Iggy said he's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, Grant Williams, great addition to the Mavs, who desperately needed that type of player, and you can't get much better of a player at that position than Grant Williams at that price.
Yeah.
I'll say at that price. You had Rashawn Holmes after you let JaVale McGee go.
That was like a salary dump where they got the better player.
It was crazy. Like,
Rashawn Holmes can play.
Rashawn Holmes can play. I mean, you get him from Sacramento, and it's just like, ooh.
Okay. Yeah, well, yeah, we'll take that. Was it they moved up for that? Wasn't that the deal? They moved up in the first and got Rashawn Holmes, or did they move back?
I can't remember.
No, they got the Omax pick. They got the Omax pick for taking him.
The Omax pick.
So they got Omax to take Rashawn Holmes, who was better than the center that they stretched.
Yes.
That's good business.
It is good business. Yeah, Sacramento needed to create some flexibility
to pay their own player.
I mean, it's like sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
It wasn't a re-signing. It was a renegotiation.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, we can't really say anything. The Bucks wasted a first-round pick so they could trade Tony Snell for whoever that was.
That was bad.
Who was that? Why can't I remember? Wisconsin guy. From the Pistons.
Oh.
Giannis has dunked on him before.
Lure.
What?
John Lure.
Yeah, John Lure. John Lure.
I didn't want to think about that ever again.
I just had the Jim Paschke call in my head.
Yeah.
Real ones know what I'm talking about. And it's like, this is a long-winded way of saying I'm taking the over.
I am too. The Dante Exum edition is kind of intriguing.
Dante Exum back in the league after, just unfortunately dealing with injury after injury in his first couple years in the league. Like, you think he tore his ACL twice or something.
Yeah.
And then just is out of the league. He's just played really, really well internationally and has earned his way back.
Yeah. And then Seth Curry, who, we're past the Seth Curry heyday, but when
he's back in the Mavericks uniform for the 14th time. When
they traded him, they drafted a guy who, unfortunately, his whole career got derailed by off-court stuff. I forget the player's name now, but he's pretty much done in the NBA at the moment. They could use that shooter. I don't know how much he's going to be able to play with Luka and Kyrie also there, but they could use a little more shooting. They don't have to play him every game.
And it's like, how much are you, Josh Green looked good last season. Jaden Hardy looked good. It's like, you can also rely on some of these guys to take a step up. Plus, it's year 2 of Luka and Kyrie together. Maybe they can learn how to share the ball instead of doing. Remember their first game where it came down to clutch time and someone was trying to take the last shot and they just kept passing each other and no one got a shot off. First of all, that was one of the funniest things I've ever seen happen.
It was like a meme come to life.
It was like what's that movie? Tropic Thunder moment.
No. Was it Tropic? With you talking about a grenade?
No, I'm talking about it kept on trying to post up.
No, that's not Tropic Thunder. That's Tropic Thunder's the war movie.
Wait, what's the team then? Isn't the team?
It's the Flint Tropics, but the movie is called.
Oh my goodness, Tropic Thunder is the one thing. You're right.
What's that movie called?
We just can't remember anything.
I know.
Flint. Let's look it up. Flint Tropics, semi-pro.
Semi-pro. There's so many listeners screaming semi-pro this whole time.
Yeah, it's and all of them are Andrew.
Yeah.
Love you, Andrew, still. I'm taking the over. The talent's there. Luka's going to perpetually be a top MVP favorite. Maybe this year is the year this team doesn't let him down.
Maybe not, but yeah.
What do you mean?
I think they could. I mean, I'm always nervous taking the over on a Kyrie team.
And a J-Kid team.
Also, yes. So there's certainly a lot who could go wrong. I don't think they're going to be amazing, but I am going to take the over as well. I'm looking for a really funny Zach Lowe quote that I tweeted. I say this respectfully to both cockroaches and Dwight Powell.
Oh.
And he was basically saying they can never get Dwight Powell out of it. They still have Dwight Powell in there. They still have Kleba as well, I believe. So some good players in Dallas.
Is Kleba going to be back?
Oh, is he hurt again?
Didn't he tear his Achilles?
Oh, maybe you're right.
Last season?
Let's see.
I swear he tore his Achilles.
I don't know. If he did, I forgot about it. I guess he didn't play for Germany. 2 days ago, Mavs Moneyball, they're going to... Oh, no, they didn't want him back. He has this beef with Dennis Schroeder.
Yeah. Dennis Schroeder apparently, because he skipped Eurobasket last summer or something?
Yeah.
And apparently Dennis Schroeder has apologized, but...
I think Kleba's good.
Also, Maxi Kleba's not on the Mavs anymore.
Oh, well, that'll do it. Where is he?
No, wait, he is on the Mavs.
I was going to say, he can't play anywhere else. Not his game. I just can't imagine him on another basketball team. Yeah, I feel like you just double gaslit me on Maxi Kleba.
I did.
I don't know. I think he did it last year. He only played 37 games last year. It sounds like he's going to be ready. Mostly ready here. Anyway, I don't want to talk about the Mavs anymore. We're both at the over. Houston Rockets.
Oh, so there's a typo. I'm looking. I was trying to find the injury news on Maxi Kleber, and I Googled Maxi Kleber, went to news, and I'm scrolling down. It's I would like to apologize to Maxi Kleber and his family. Dennis Schroeder issued statement after blasting Cavs star. So they put Cavs instead of Mavs.
Oh.
And I'm wait, when did he get to Cleveland?
Now I'm worried he is our Cav. Is
Where
he?
in the world is Maxi Kleber?
The curious case of Maxi Kleber.
Okay. Houston.
31.5. The additions. Fred VanVleet, Dylan Brooks, Jeff Green, Aaron Holiday, Jock Landale, fun deal. Amen Thompson, Cam Whitmore.
I'll tell you who they didn't add. Brooke Lopez.
Thank God. They lost KJ Martin, Josh Christopher, Usman Garuba, Deshaun Nix, Ty Washington.
And Kevin Porter Jr.
Not officially yet.
They've lost Kevin
Has
Porter
not been suspended. They haven't traded him yet.
Yeah, that's fair. But I'm operating under the assumption that they have.
He will not play basketball for them or hopefully anyone this year.
He will hopefully be in jail.
Yeah.
Best wishes to her family.
Yes.
Her and her family. 31.5 is low. Especially when you factor in all the talent they've added. Like last year was an abject disaster. Also, you have a new coach in Ime Udoka.
Yeah, he is going to add some wins. No, I don't like him, but they're going to win more than they would have with.
He's objectively not a good person, but like in a basketball sense, he's probably going to get.
He is a better basketball coach than Steven Silas.
Which is so unfortunate. Like,
I feel bad for Silas.
Steven Silas deserved way better, and everyone was screaming this at the time as well when he got hired. Yeah. It's like, this is not the job you're going to take because it's not going to look good for you. And it didn't. I'm not saying like he's not like fully like out of the blame on this. Like obviously you have to take some responsibility, but that roster and that team was abject disaster.
Yeah, I think ownership is bad too. But Silas
who would have thought that Tillman Fertitta would not run a good ship? Who would have thought?
Shut up and listen, Rohan.
I was in my head. I was trying to think of what the book was called.
That's what it's called.
I'm glad you got it.
I bring this up like every day.
But you do add talent. Like Fred VanVleet is good. Dylan Brooks, like he's a solid NBA.
He's a good NBA player. He's a good NBA player.
Just needs to tune down his shot selection, and he'll be so much better. Jeff Green, solid vet. Like in terms of vets you want to add, Jeff Green he's near the top of that list, right? Every year. And he's going to poster someone this year. It's just guaranteed. Happens every year, even though he's like 60 years old. Aaron Holiday exists. Jock Landale, how much of it was the CP3 and Devin Booker effect?
Fine backup center, though.
Yeah, remains to be seen. Amen Thompson has a chance to really break out.
Don't think it'll be year one.
Don't think it'll be year one because it's really tough for like he's more of like the point guard one of the Thompson twins.
Yeah. There's a lot of guards here. Even removing KPJ from hopefully our lives forever, there's still a lot of guards in Houston.
Exactly. And it's like we talked about with Ty. If you haven't listened to that pod, make sure you check it out. We talked about like why is it difficult for like young point guards to really succeed in the league? Like why does it take a little bit more time? He really dives into a good answer there, a very good answer that neither of us really expected. I won't spoil it. Go listen to the episode. But yeah, Amen Thompson, like he has a chance. Like those both of them are like could be super, super, super like great NBA players.
I think Whitmore comes out the gate hot. He looked great at Summer League. I know teams are worried about his medicals, maybe some attitude stuff. I think he's a good NBA player. I think that was a huge boon to get him at like 20 or whatever they drafted him.
Yeah.
I look
it's
at
one
the
of those
line.
times where it's like, man, I wish the Bucks had a late first and wish they could just like swoop in here.
That would have been nice. 31.5 is the line.
I'm taking the over.
A lineup of Fred VanVleet, Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, Jabari Smith Jr., who really came on late and had a great summer league, and Alperen Şengün. Then you talk about some of these guys we mentioned earlier, like Jock Landale, Cam Whitmore, Amen Thompson, Jeff Green. They got Boban in there for some reason.
He's just like he's
Tari
a great
Eason,
15th man.
Jayshawn Tate. Like
Jayshawn Tate really fell off, but
he did. But I think that if that's like your 10th or 11th guy, I mean, I think they're a real team now. They accomplished that mission.
The problem is like they're gonna who's gonna stop them from scoring?
Who's going to stop the other team from scoring?
Yes, the other team from scoring.
Freddie's a good point guard defender. Dylan Brooks is a good defender. You see why they wanted Brooks so bad.
Yeah, I get Brooks, but it's like your front court defense is just not good.
Jabari Smith Jr. has to step up there. He's got the size for it.
you need him to step up. If he does not step up there, they're not going to succeed because it's not going to be Şengün.
No.
It's not going to be Jalen Green.
It's not going to be Boban.
Yeah. Maybe. Boban's big, man.
He's so slow, though.
I know. I'm kidding. Jalen Green showed some chops on the defensive end, but it's like
big year for him.
Big year. Considering the ball's not going to be in his hands as much.
I think he's really set up to look good this year.
He can really, really, like, the thing is efficiency, right? And again, it's the same thing we were talking about earlier, young point guards. Like, Jalen Green obviously has the talent. Like, obviously.
It's dropping 40 balls.
We were talking about, like, last season about, like, hey, if he's in trade talks, like, yeah, send him to the Bucks.
Yeah.
But, like, when you average, like, 22 points a game is, like, what is he, 20 years old? Yeah, he was young. 20 years old last season.
Yeah.
Like, that's ridiculous. Like, it was on, like, 34% for three. Like, you want to see the field goal percentage go up. It's at, like, 41.6%. But, like, yeah, because he's taking almost 18 shots a game.
On a garbage team last year.
Garbage team.
It's going to be a big year for him just to see how he looks on a real team. This is a real team now.
This is
I'm
an
taking
actual
the over too.
basketball team.
They're going to be. They need that defensive five, which again, like you see why they push so hard for. I think with Brook Lopez, they're probably a play-in team.
I'd say so. It'd be tough because the West is just the West.
Yeah, it's hard. They have a real shot. I don't think right now they have a very real shot, but I still think
they have a shot with Brook.
35 wins is very possible.
I'm taking the over. Have we agreed on everything so far?
Yeah, and I'm kind of worried we're going to take the over for every team in this division.
I think we've disagreed on Utah. We've disagreed on Philly, and Denver.
Yeah. But for this division, we might all have the exact same.
Yeah,
we might all say over as well for this whole division, which I'm a little worried about.
Interesting you say that, considering the next team we're talking about, which is the Memphis Grizzlies.
I think this is such an easy over.
I mean, they won't have their best player for the first quarter.
They're used to that. All they do is grind out wins. They win 50 games every year.
I don't know, man. I think the Ja Morant suspension is going to hit him because it's like you don't have to deal with it like it's like one game at a time with Ja.
Oh, he missed a lot. He missed a lot 2 years ago in a row.
No, that's fair.
He missed 20 games with some sort of injury, I think. Well, he missed a lot of time in a row with that suspension too last year.
Last season he only played 57 games or 61 games. The season before it was 57.
And they won 50 plus both years, right?
I believe so.
I mean, I don't trust them in the playoffs at all, but they're very. 45.5, I think, is very low for them.
I mean, I think with the addition of Marcus Smart to really hold them over till Ja Morant gets back, I think that's a very, very good addition.
Yeah, I think most of the rest of their additions stink.
I mean, yeah, it's like D Rose just there to be a vet.
Yeah,
and it's like you mentioned last episode, if your vet's D Rose, maybe you could get some better options there.
Yeah.
Josh Christopher, not a real player. Isaiah Todd, not a real player. Sorry, Josh Christopher is more of a real player than Isaiah Todd, but
neither are particularly real.
I mean, Josh Christopher is like a young flyer, right?
Josh Christopher was maybe the 7th most impressive young guard on the Rockets last year.
Here's the thing, though.
7th.
He's not even 22 yet.
That's fine.
It's worth taking a flyer.
Jason Tatum was 14, scoring 20 in the playoffs.
Jason Tatum was in diapers dunking over LeBron.
He boomed me. He boo-booed me.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, I mean, if the Bucks had taken a flyer on Josh Christopher, I'd be excited about it.
I'm more excited about Ty for sure.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
If you're getting someone from Houston, it's Ty for sure. And we're not just saying that because he was on the pod. We go back. We have receipts.
It's a long time.
Yeah, you more than me.
Yes.
But yeah, you lose Tyus Jones. You lose I guess you lose Dylan Brooks. I was going to say you lose your best perimeter defender. I was going to say Dylan Brooks, but then you also gain Marcus Smart.
Stepped off. This is that trade could go really bad for them.
For
Memphis, I think it could go really bad for everyone but the Wizards.
You gave up a first in that deal.
Yeah, and if Marcus Smart's regression was real, you just kind of got worse for no real reason. And lost assets.
Yeah, I think they needed to do it though. Because of the Ja suspension.
Tyus Jones is good.
That's fair.
I'd just play Tyus Jones. Like, I don't think they needed to do anything for the Ja suspension.
But it's like, especially when you lose Dylan Brooks, though, and you need a defensive wing. Like a wing defender.
I mean, they've got all these young guys that they'll never give up for anyone. I assume one of them could play 20 games and not totally bomb them, but this is the team that they missed so many opportunities to add a guy like OG, and now they do it with Marcus Smart.
I'm the one taking the over here, and you're taking the under.
Because this is why, and I was actually I'm glad you posed the question because I wanted to say this anyway. I really dislike their long-term direction, and I don't like almost everything they've done. But the team they built ahead of the stuff, before the stuff I didn't like, is good enough to where I think they're just going to win a bunch of games anyway.
Fair.
Although they may fall off now in a more crowded West, I'm still going to take the slight over here.
I'm taking the under. Again, like they're not going to get like a lot of – that's a very good point. West teams are better.
Yeah.
Which side I'm taking the – I'd take the slight. I'd say they win like 45 games.
Oh, where am I typing? Oh, God.
Oh, no.
I think we're good.
Okay. I'd say they win 45 games.
Under. I think they're probably going to sniff around 50 again. I don't know. It's one of those. Sometimes I just let.
It's a good line.
Sometimes I just let recency bias dominate, and I'm just like, yeah, I've seen them do it. They won 56 2 years ago, 51 last year. The thing I'm most concerned about is injuries.
And again, Brandon could get injured again.
What's Steven Adams and Brandon Clark's status?
I believe Brandon Clark should be ready to go.
No, I think you have it backwards.
I do have it backwards.
Yes,
I do. He will not be ready to start the year.
In April, they said Steven Adams' timetable is start of next year, but Clark tore his Achilles in March.
Yeah,
that's going to be tough. That's hard for them.
Unless he's on that Aaron Rodgers trajectory.
Hey, man. I'm sourcing some ayahuasca if he plays in the playoffs.
Also, it's like that new innovative Achilles surgery that he's talking about isn't like new and innovative at all. It's actually pretty common practice nowadays.
Yeah. I'm just going to say a bunch of names of guys that the NBA nerds. Well, I'm not even going to talk. I'm just going to say the names and we can move on.
Okay.
Zaire Williams, Santi Aldama, John Conchar, David Roddy.
I was playing Rocket League a few months ago, and I was playing against some person, and it was like Santi Aldama. I was like, there's no shot this is actually Santi Aldama, right? Because it's like, I know everyone has a Stan account. Like, there's a freaking Marcus Morris Muse Twitter account.
It's horrible.
It's ridiculous. But it's like, is there really someone out there putting their gamer tag as Santi Aldama if they're not?
People need to get lives.
It's like, it's like it could have been actual Santi Aldama.
I feel like you wouldn't make it Santi Aldama. You would do like Santi,
do something else.
You wouldn't just do your name.
That's fair.
What kind of psycho? And I'm sure I'm going to get. I do this. Who just puts their full name as their gamer tag?
It was like Santi Aldama and some numbers.
Well, yeah, but even that.
Yeah, but still.
That's an email address. That's not a gamer tag.
That's that whenever you.
Have you ever known anyone in real life what's your tag? Rohan Katti. Have you?
That's fair. No.
I have never met someone.
No. Unless it's like I think the only media platform where you can do that is like Instagram.
Well, yeah, I'm saying social media is fine. Gamer tags are different.
Yeah, gamer tags are different.
A gamer, it's like something fun.
Yeah. That's fair.
Anyway, enough about Santi Aldama and maybe having a really I'm concerned about his long-term future if his gamer tag is Santi Aldama and then numbers.
Yeah, I'll say he's pretty good at Rocket League.
He's got something going for him. They'll need him this year with some of these injuries. New Orleans Pelicans. Talk about, literally any number I would find difficult for New Orleans with how they are.
43.5 is the line for them. Their biggest addition isn't listed here. It's Zion.
Is it though?
I think it is.
No, but can we rely on that?
I think he plays a game, which is an improvement on last season.
He didn't play any last year?
No.
Jesus Christ.
He did not play at all last season.
Wow.
No, wait. No, he did play last season.
I was going to say, I don't think
I was thinking about the year before. Excuse me. He played 29 games last season.
His career high is 30 some? No, 61. But then 61. The other 2 years, 24, 29, 0.
Yeah. That's my I got confused. But no, he barely played. 29 games for Zion last season is just not enough.
You can't trust it.
You can't trust it at all.
They won 42 last year, so very close to this.
I'm taking the over.
Oh, we're going to disagree? I'm taking the under.
I'm taking the over because I think Zion actually plays. And when Zion plays, he's like really good.
Yeah, so you are, well, not literally, but in this exercise, betting money that Zion Williamson plays basketball games.
Yeah, it's a bad.
How does that feel?
It's why I'm not actually betting on this.
Yeah. So we swapped. You took the under on Memphis. I took the under on New Orleans.
Yeah, I'm taking the over, and that it like considering those two lines are very close. Like I'd say those two maybe both win like 44, 45 games. Like it's very close on either side.
I think the Pels come into the year. Jose Alvarado's out, hopefully back by camp. Trey Murphy out, probably not back for the start of the season.
Yeah.
They from what I just listened to Andrew Lopez talking to Zach Lowe, the way they talk about like CJ McCollum as being so important to them, I don't like that. I think he's that guy. Brandon Ingram,
guard. Yeah, Brandon Ingram's stock is at the lowest it's ever been.
He's helping out the Bucks. I mean, if they do go under, I think Brandon Ingram will be very available this coming summer.
Based on some Pelicans people that I follow, they could be a team that's in on Buddy Hield.
Oh,
he would slot in really well.
They just hate defense, huh? They just are not interested in that at all.
Zion's a good defender when he plays.
Is he?
Yeah, he's a good help defender.
Okay.
Not as good on ball, but again, we haven't seen a ton.
They still have Valanciunas, right?
Yeah, they still got Chuchu.
It's just a weird roster. They want a big really bad. I don't know who they would get, though.
Yeah, you lose Jackson Hayes. He didn't really.
Yeah. Josh, all the guys they lost, I'm like, why were they on your roster in the first place?
Yeah, like Garrett Temple. I was like, oh, he's still in the NBA.
Garrett Temple failed on his rookie duties. People were saying when some of those Zion stories. We're just going to move on. Drafted Jordan Hawkins.
It's been such a long offseason that feels like an eternity ago.
They added my guy Cody Zeller, which feels like pretty net neutral to add Cody Zeller and lose Jackson Hayes and Billy Hernan Gomez.
I think the biggest addition is because it's like when Zion is there, they actually look like a competent team.
I just don't think you can fairly say it's an addition. We don't know.
I think you're right. You're absolutely right.
I'm not going to believe it.
I'm not changing the. I'm just I am going to give him the benefit of the doubt.
What changed from the rest of his career that now he's suddenly available?
I don't know. He missed most of last season.
That has not been a predictor of him being mostly available the next year.
Hasn't it? So he played 24 games, then 61 games, then he didn't play, then he did play.
So they better get a lot done this year is what I'm hearing.
Yeah. It's crazy that this is going to be year 5.
He's no longer on his rookie deal. That's how long it's been for Zion now.
Crazy. Yeah, I think he's going to play, so that's why I'm hitting the over.
Fair. I don't know. I think there's a little bit of a. I think he could play, and they probably wouldn't come under totally. I think they could still be pretty disappointed. I feel like they've felt so good about the times when he does play, and I am a lower on their team than I think a lot of people. I don't think they're awesome. Like, I don't think they're an elite team of Zion, even if he plays all year.
Is BI like going to come for a better year? Is he set for a better year?
I don't know.
Like with Zion on the court, he usually looks a lot better because he doesn't have to be a primary offensive focal point.
Yeah.
Like he still averaged almost 25 a game last year.
Yeah, it's a productive player.
Yeah. It's like, and he's going to look a lot better with Zion.
Yeah.
This is all contingent on Zion. If Zion doesn't play, I'm obviously taking the under.
I just like with how much
taking the over.
With how much star power is in the West, I just don't know how a starting 5 of CJ McCollum, Brandon Ingram, Herb Jones, Zion, and Jonas Valanciunas survives defensively. And I know the numbers have been good. They've also been extremely limited because Zion never plays and the other guys get hurt too.
Herb Jones is really good.
Herb Jones is really good. A really good defensive player who cannot shoot, cannot really make you a great defense and offense by himself and keep you a great offense. We'll see. I'm just lower on the Pels. I'm not a big believer in what they've built. Maybe they prove me wrong.
I think the one player who needs to really step up for New Orleans is Larry Nance.
Oh, yeah. I always forget he's there, too.
Like, I think he could be sort of like a linchpin to those lineups if you want to take Jonas off the floor.
Yeah.
And go maybe Zion or Larry Nance at the 5. Those lineups could pop.
That's intriguing. Yeah. Sounds like they're gonna
I can never quit Larry Nance.
You do. That's one of you guys.
He would be a perfect Buck.
I think he'd be an okay Buck. We've disagreed on this before.
I think he'd be perfect. He's
if you slid him into the Bobby role, he'd be very good.
Bobby, and it's like he could be a 5th starter.
I wouldn't go there.
He could. He would be a better PJ.
I worry about your mobility if you start him and Brook.
I think he'd be fine. I mean, obviously, Larry Nance has had some injury concerns, and it's like
I want
to limit, like, mobility would be a little bit of a concern, but I think because he's a lot bigger, you can get away with more stuff.
I would just worry about teams like Boston that just have like a bunch of shifty wings, like.
And you don't have to play, like, that's the thing. He's a versatile forward. You don't have to have him in every lineup.
No, you said as a starter though. That's why I wouldn't want to lock that starting lineup in for 80.
Like that dude's 6'7", 250, 245.
That's the second number's big.
Yeah, it's a solid dude.
Oh yeah, I'm not worried about getting posted up though in 2023.
That's fair. I don't know. Larry Nance Jr., please. Like John Horst, please.
That would be a good. I mean, they could use that kind of like defensive linchpin, move the ball guy if they made this Buddy Hield. I don't know how they'd get him, but you probably have to give up Pat. I don't know about that.
Just give him for free. I don't know.
Let's not hold our breath.
Who knows what David Griffin?
You know what? Fair. If you got me there. San Antonio Spurs. It's going to be an interesting one.
Such a low line. 29 and a half. They add, obviously, Victor Wembanyama with the number 1 overall pick.
I thought you were going to say Cedi Osman first on the list here.
You know what, Cedi Osman? Who cares about Wembanyama? They got the last.
There is. I'll admit this at the end of a long pod, so only true listeners can make fun of me. There is an episode of The Chase Down from years ago out there somewhere where Cedi Osman was at a workout with LeBron and KD, and I said something like, he does have that long, athletic body type and does shoot. I
know exactly what photo you're talking about.
Yeah,
too.
And I was like, he could be one of those guys someday. He did not.
Could. It was after
voice. He could not.
It was right after LeBron signed with the Lakers, I believe.
Yeah,
that summer.
Cedi was next up. Fill in the shoes.
Next up.
Fill in the shoes.
Spoiler alert: that did not happen.
Did not happen.
At least in Cleveland, but no, I'm kidding. San Antonio, they didn't do a whole lot. Like, again, their biggest addition is obviously the number 1 overall pick and one of the best prospects the league has ever seen.
Yep.
So that's pretty good. Like,
it's good base.
That on its own is a win for your summer.
Yeah.
Absolute win.
They also got a bunch of extra picks for taking on some of these guys.
For the Spurs to have this be their one big move and it be one of the best summers they've ever had is saying a lot. But it is, I mean, you lose your guy Bates Diop.
Do love him, Charles Bassey. Yeah. I'm a Charles Bassey believer as well. Did they re-sign him?
Gordy Jang, Charles Bassey. I think.
Did he go to Philly?
Did. Someone just signed him.
I'm searching. They lost Gorgie Jang and Romeo Langford too, maybe.
Yeah, it's fine. But
they Charles Bassey, I think, is back.
Oh, nice. But they win 22 games last year, and it pays off because they get the guy that they wanted.
Oh yeah, 4-year contract. Oh, it was a Hinkie special. 4 years, $10 million.
For Bassey?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I thought that was the case. Sorry, go
on. So you win 22 games last year. Wembanyama, like you and I think are both in lockstep on here where we say he's going to make an impact his rookie year, but it's going to be on the defensive end.
Yes.
The scoring is not going to translate right away.
Yeah.
And even like the scoring didn't even translate in France because he was like a 30% 3-point shooter.
Yeah, he takes some silly shots.
He takes some wild shots. But hopefully that changes. Like you get him under Pop, and from everything we've known about this kid, is like he's a serious like work ethic guy.
He wants to be great really bad.
He wants to be great really bad, and you don't really see like any really attitude red flags or anything about this guy. Like he's been like literally like the last decade of his life has been waiting for this moment. And he has a good support system around him. Again, this is everything that I've like heard from other people talking about it. I don't know anyone personally there.
Yeah.
But it's like, it seems like he has a good support system, good family who like make sure he works, but like, don't overwork and don't want to be a drill sergeant type people. It's like, it seems like a very, very good environment. And the Spurs are it's a perfect fit. It's a perfect fit. Like you get Pop in his last few years in the league. I mean, I say as he just signed a contract extension. But I'm assuming this is his last contract.
Never know these days.
Yeah, who knows at this point with Pop? I thought last year was going to be his last year. But yeah, I'm saying a lot when not actually talking about the wins. I think I might take the under.
I wanted to take the over. I like
29.5 is low.
I like Vassell a lot, but he didn't really lead them to winning last year. This is training camp roster, but like 11 of the 19 or 20 guys on here were born in 2000 or later. 6 of them in 03 or later. They're just very young. Wemby was born January 4th, 2004.
I feel so old.
2004.
So old. Oh, man.
They're really young. Their guard play, I think, is kind of. I mean, counting Vassell as a wing, their guard play is just not. I mean, if Malachi Branham or Blake Wesley or somebody pops in year 2, maybe people like Trey Jones. I look at Trey Jones and just see like the most league average point guard possible. He's fine.
I think Trey Jones is. I think Trey Jones is good.
I think he's like the 30th best point guard in the league.
I think he's better than that. I'd take him on the Bucks right now.
Well, yeah, they have one under contract, so.
I don't know. I think Trey Jones is better than Tyus Jones in some respects.
Oh, I'm not going there.
No, you're not going there?
No, I'm not going there. We'll see.
Let's do a quick B-ball ref compare. How do I do this?
Trey Jones had a good year shooting the 3-ball, 28%. Maybe I don't know. I want to see. This year will be more interesting. I just maybe he's better than I'm saying. I just was on such a bad team.
Sorry, I'm trying to pull this up.
He had a good statistical year with the Spurs.
Yeah, I mean, like he averaged more points, rebounds, assists, better shooting percentage
on a team with no other guards that won almost no games.
That's fair. I'm saying it's closer than you think, probably. But yeah, I'm taking the under. I'm taking the under on the Spurs. Some team has to win not many games, and I think it's good that also there was like a story yesterday or the last couple of days, I believe. I've been really busy. That Wembanyama has said like, yeah, I want to be a Hall of Fame player. I want to be an all-time great, and I recognize that not winning your first couple of years isn't going to impact that. Like that's not going to change that. And it's like that's the absolute best thing you want your new franchise player to say. And that sounded sarcastic. It wasn't.
No, I didn't think it did. Yeah,
it's crazy like how like versed this guy seems in like his overall like stature as a player and how he can get to where he wants to be as a player. It's just he says all the right things. Like no one has to say that.
Yeah.
No one has to, and he obviously like, oh, obviously I love winning, but like who doesn't love winning? But it's like I recognize that if you don't win your first couple of years, it's not gonna. You can still get to where you want to be, and it's like okay, cool. So he's not going to get upset when the Spurs win 25 games.
Yeah, it's also a convenient take when you look at the rest of this roster and what they did last year.
Yeah, too bad the Spurs or the draft isn't as top heavy as it was this year. Next year.
Yeah, they'll be okay. They'll be okay.
Spurs could like double dip on number 1 picks.
Yeah,
like let's say they somehow win the lottery again. Can you imagine?
Is Cooper Flagg is 2 years, right?
2, yeah. He's not. He reclassified, so he'll be eligible in the 2025.
Cooper Flagg and Wemby would be the funniest 1-2 ever.
It'd be
really good, but it'd just be like the personalities meshing would be so funny.
It would be really funny.
If for anyone who doesn't know, Cooper Flagg is like hyper realized Tyler Hero. Every sense.
And a massive Celtics fan.
That's in every sense. I think that actually clicks.
He's from Maine, though. We've talked about this.
Except I don't know. I don't know if his dad uses the correct bathrooms or not. I'm not that sense. Still so funny.
So funny.
Anyway.
Just so funny. But yeah, we took a lot of one of the reasons I picked the Spurs to take the under is some team has to they're clearly the worst team in the are they? The
No.
Blazers if they trade Dame.
Yeah.
If they keep Dame, I think they're better than the Spurs.
Is Dame trying?
Yeah, I think Dame's the kind of guy where it's if he reports Portland or Miami, if he reports to Portland, I think he'll play. I don't think he has too much invested in the city of Portland to not play.
If we just drop Tyler Hero in there, it's probably kind of close.
What?
The Spurs and the Blazers?
Oh, okay. If you replace Dame with
yeah. You don't just add Tyler Hero, you drop. So it's Scoot, Anthony Simons, Tyler Hero, Jeremy Grant. There's some players.
I think they're better. They might be better.
Yeah, I think it's close. I mean, it depends what Wemby's like year one and how much he plays. That Windhorst has really. It seems like the Spurs, from what they put out, he's not going to play 80. They're going to take it easy on him physically.
Yeah. Again, perfect situation.
Yeah. So, all that to say, probably the worst team in the West.
I'd say so.
And it's a really good conference too.
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, Utah might give them a run for their money,
but they are in probably the worst West division. I mean, the highest over-under in this division is 45.5. So they shouldn't get killed by their division, which helps.
Yeah, but I mean, their division does have I guess the Mavs are the best team, right?
Yeah, Mavs are Grizz. Whereas we look at we did the Northwest, there's mostly bad teams, but at least the Nuggets and the Thunder could be good. The
Nuggets
Wolves,
and Thunder, yeah.
But then Blazers, Jazz. Yeah, I guess those two divisions are both kind of. The Pacific then is just
the Pacific is just crazy.
Worst team in the Pacific is rocking Kawhi Leonard and Paul George.
Yeah, they might be rocking De'Aaron Fox.
What?
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it.
Whoa.
We'll talk about it. It's a spoiler. It's another Zion thing.
Wow.
Actually, no, it's not. I'll save my full thoughts for our next podcast.
Okay.
But yeah, that's a death division. Warriors, Clippers, Lakers, Suns, Kings. Good Lord.
Maybe the Kings are the worst. We'll see.
Talking about the point guard switching teams in 2015. Good Lord. Do you not know what I'm talking about?
No.
Oh, remember trade deadline 2015 when they?
Oh,
the
good
Bucks
Lord!
trade,
Yeah, good Lord! Yeah,
good Lord! Good Lord!
I thought you meant specifically a point guard.
I was like, did I go too deep of a cut here?
No, I got it. I got it now.
What?
Yeah, he just said "good Lord" with all the trades, and that's a baby deadline compared to some of the ones since too.
I mean, that deadline was ridiculous.
Or no, baby transaction period, not deadline.
Yeah, that's fair. Do we have any other final thoughts here on any of these teams, or should we wrap up?
No, this is old school. We're about 2 hours here.
A little bit, yeah. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. I'm glad we got the trade talk up top as well, but we had to stick to our schedule, give you the Southwest and Southeast divisions. As we just talked about, for our next episode, we will be talking about the Pacific Division and the Central Division minus the Bucks.
Yep.
Because obviously we're a Milwaukee Bucks podcast. We will do a full dedicated Milwaukee Bucks season preview because training camp is right around the corner. Everyone's in the facility. Giannis can still dunk. People interpreted that post really weirdly. They're like, "Wait, is he concerned about his knee? Like, what's going on?" And it's like, "Oh, he's just dunking a basketball."
It's just a fun post, folks.
Yeah, it's just a fun post. It's like, yeah, his head is above the rim. Like,
did you see Dwight Powell? This video that's been going around?
No, what happened?
He jumped in the tunnel and smacked his head on the top of a door.
What?
I must be old because I'm sure he's not doing this, but it's like this. I don't know why it's been on my TikTok 5 times.
Oh my god!
I think it was Dwight Powell. Yeah, I'll send you the video. It's crazy.
Please do. The cockroach himself.
Yeah.
But yeah, I you know what the funniest interpretation, and I don't think I've seen anyone say this, but it's like, oh, is Run and Dunk Man back?
What is that?
Is that what Giannis is saying? Like, oh, I can still dunk. Like, oh, Run and Dunk Man's back.
Did he ever go anywhere?
Yeah, he started shooting wild threes.
Oh, Yeah, I suppose.
Um,
I'm sending you this video. I want you to react to it on the end of the pod.
okay.
It's a GIF.
Okay. Okay, let me pull it up on my phone.
I don't know what he was thinking.
Okay.
It's like, how did you think that was going to go? Like, really hard. So he's like skipping through a tunnel and he jumps through a door and just nails the front of his head. His face. Like the team was filming him. I don't know how they let it get posted. Whoever was filming him.
And then he just walks back like nothing happened.
It's honestly super impressive he didn't fall over.
He might not even remember something happened. He just hit his head so hard.
Yeah. He's laughing afterward.
That's toy pal. That's so funny. My goodness. On that note, thank you for listening to this episode of the Gyro Step. I almost said the Euro podcast. What's going on? The Gyro Step. Yeah, we cover all things Europe.
Yep. Don't get me in this. I'll get in trouble.
Adam's gonna be in our group message, just be like, Ty, what'd you do now?
You can't cover all of Europe, Ty.
The Gyro Step
Yes.
podcast here on GSPN and Blue Wire. Appreciate everyone for sticking through this. If you made it to the end of this episode, you're a real one. This is peak off season, but also I think this is peak Gyro Step type content when we get these type of episodes out there. So we truly do appreciate you guys sticking around, listening to this thing, and supporting us as you have this entire off season, and hopefully continue to do as we start up for the regular season, which again, it's coming up soon. So make sure you are subscribed on your podcast platform of choice or on YouTube, depending on where you're listening or watching, or do both. Why not? Make sure you check out gspn.info for links to all of our other podcasts here on the network, as well as fun stuff like Substack, Discord, all that cool stuff. gspn.info. You can find all those fun links. Make sure you leave a 5-star rating and review on your podcast platform of choice. 5 stars, as Ty is putting up his hand right now. Pod random, and we will talk to you next time.